Now let's just move on further and talk about the congruence of the triangle more, that how we can say that the two triangles are congruent to each other. So there are some criteria related to the congruence of the triangle. So let's just start with the congruence criteria of the triangle. So in this chapter we will discuss about the three basic criteria, which is nothing but called as the SAS congruence rule, ASA congruence rule and AAS congruence rule. So actually SAS represents side angle side, ASA represents angle side angle, AAS represents angle angle side. So it means that A is representing angle, S is representing side. So here we are going to discuss the three congruence rules, which is SAS, ASA and AAS. So let us suppose if I am just taking any two particular triangles over here, in which I have the triangle. Let us suppose if I am just taking a triangle over here as nothing but let us suppose if I am calling it as ABC triangle, and furthermore I'm just taking another triangle and I'm just calling this particular triangle as nothing but PQR. So let us suppose if I am calling it as PQR, such that this is also 4 centimeter, this is also 4 centimeter, and this is nothing but, let us suppose if I am taking it as 6 centimeter, and this is again 6 centimeter that I am taking, such that this angle and this angle, they are equal to each other. Let us suppose if I am just taking this angle as 45 degree, let us suppose, and this angle is also 45 degree. So do you observe that if I'm just talking about these two triangles and I'm just saying that two sides of this particular of these two triangles are equal to each other, and the included angle means the angle which is in between the two equal sides are also equal. So you can see over here that AB actually is equal to PQ, which is equal to 4 centimeter, and AC is equal to PR, which is nothing but 6 centimeter, and angle A actually corresponds to the angle P, which is nothing but is equal to 45 degree. So do you observe that if I am just talking about the two sides and the included angle of one triangle is congruent to, or is equal to, not congruent, is equal to the corresponding sides and the angle of the other triangle. So can we just say that these two triangles are congruent? Can we just say this thing that these two triangles are congruent or not? So yes, we can say about this thing that yes, it is quite sufficient for us to say that if the two sides and their included angle are equal to the two sides and the included angle of other triangle, so yes, they are congruent to each other, which leads us towards the very first criteria of the congruence of the triangle, which is nothing but called as SAS congruence rule, which is nothing but called as SAS. So side angle side congruence rule, and the SAS congruence rule is actually nothing but all about this particular criteria, which is actually accepted as an axiom. So we will not prove it because it is all accepted as an axiom. So this SAS congruence rule says that two triangles are congruent if two sides and the included angle of one triangle are equal to the two sides and the included angle of other triangle. So from this particular axiom, which is also called as the SAS congruence rule, we can say that these two triangles are definitely congruent to each other because of the SAS congruence rule. So always remember, whenever we are just talking about the two triangles and their two sides and the included angle are actually equal to the two sides and the included angle of other triangle, then the two triangles are definitely congruent to each other. And using this particular axiom, I can definitely say that the triangle ABC is congruent to the triangle PQR. ABC is congruent to PQR. So this is all about the SAS congruence rule. Now, since we are talking about this particular axiom, which is all about the SAS congruence rule, so if we will take the examples of any two particular triangle in which the side angle side rather than SAS, we are just talking about the other sides and the other angles. And if we are taking the other sides and the other angles of the two triangles, then we can observe that those triangles would not come congruent to each other. It means that I am just saying that SAS congruence rule hold, but not ASS or SSA rule. So always remember, whenever the angle and the two sides, or if the two sides and the angle of any particular triangles are coming equal to the two sides or the angle, or the angle and the two sides of other triangle, then those triangles are definitely not called as to be congruent to each other. So always remember, SAS congruence rule holds only, but not ASS or SSA rule. So always remember, whenever we are just talking about the congruency of the two triangles, then an included angle of the two equal sides, an included angle of the two and the two equal sides of a triangle should comes out to be equal to the included angle and the two sides of the other triangle, which will definitely leads us toward the SAS congruence rule rather than ASS or SSA rule. So definitely always remember, SAS congruence rule holds, but not ASS or SSA rule. So these are not the rules. Only the rule that we are talking here about is about SAS congruence rule. So this is a very special note which is related with the congruence rules. So always remember, SAS congruence rule holds, but not ASS or SSA rule.